live from Banjul. This is the news at 2200 hours from the Gambia radio and television services with me, Fatmata Sise. And coming up, hundreds of youth from across the country converge on Basse for the 2017 NACOF. Gambia's media fraternity commemorates the 13th anniversary of the assassination of prominent journalist Daida Haidara. Biking to explore Gambia's tourism delights, dozens of enthusiastic bikers arrive in the Gambia for a 4-day adventure. Elsewhere, U.S. announces a freeze on military aid to Somalia after the military couldn't account for funds. These plus other stories will come up in just a moment. Stay tuned. Hundreds of youth drawn from all the regions of the country are in Upper River region for the week of activities marking the National Youth Conference and Festival. The NACOF kicked off in Basai, presided over by the Secretary General and Head of the Civil Service. Modu S. Jallo has the details.
The Biennial Youth Conference is the country's biggest youth gathering where youths from all over the country converge for a period of 1 week to interact and discuss issues affecting young people in the Gambia. The event, which is one of the major activities of the National Youth Council, is rotated among the regions, and the 2017 edition is hosted by the Upper River Region town of Basse. The official opening ceremony of the 12th edition of the Youth Convergence, which was presided over by the Secretary General and Head of the Civil Service, Dauda Fadera, witnessed the symbolic handing over of the NACOF flag to S.J. Fadera for onward delivery to President Adama Barrow. This was followed with a march past by the participating regions. This is the first NACOF under the country's newfound democracy, which the youths have played a pivotal role. Every other NACOF comes with a fitting theme, and the theme for this year's conference is
New Gambia, the challenges and opportunities for youth. Under this overarching theme, the conference is expected to be engaging so as to draw the first Gambia country plan of action on youth, GP 2018 to 2019. To reposition youth priorities in the New Gambia agenda and curb youth irregular migration, and to clearly carve out the role of youth in attaining Gambia we want.
Deputizing for the President, the Secretary General Head of the Civil Service saluted the efforts of Gambian youths for their role in ensuring a democratic change of government and promised a brighter future for the country's youthful population.
This conference invariably offers youth and the nation an opportunity to reflect on the young people's critical roles, commitment and responsibilities in our drive for socio-economic development. The week ahead also will serve as a platform for you as young people to communicate your ideas, contributions, constraints, and concerns relating to nation building and, of course, your own personal welfare.
The government, he said, placed a high premium on the development of youths and will empower them to become productive citizens and leaders in national development.
This is important for government as we progressively review programs and projects and the National Development Plan to ensure that youth empowerment and development takes center stage in the government programs. Sports, being one of the greatest equalizers and unifiers, is a major component of my government's development agenda. It is generally and widely acclaimed as an important tool for social cohesion, promoting cultural as well as personal growth and development.
Mr. Farrer also presided over the launching of 2 projects for youth empowerment in agriculture and entrepreneurship.
We are very happy to launch today a new scheme available for young Gambians to find support and have access to in-kind support for launching their different enterprises.
The participants will, during the course of their stay in Basse, engage in various activities including sports, academic and talent shows, plus the conference where delegates are expected to critically discuss and draw up resolutions on youth matters which will be presented to government. Mohamed S. Jallo, GRTS News.
We'll bring you more on the makeup in these sports days as MS Jallo sounded the reactions of organizers and conference delegates. Meanwhile, members of the Gambia's media fraternity have marked the 13th year anniversary of the assassination of prominent journalist Daida Haidara. The late veteran media chief was gunned down by state security agents in 2005. It was one of many such attacks targeting journalists in the country under the previous government. Famara Kanyi was at the commemoration, and this is his report.
Commissioning of the new ferry is a major development for the people of this area and beyond. The ferry, which went through a thorough maintenance, will ply the Yelitanda Bamba.
What do you want? Justice! What do you want? Justice! Justice! Justice!
Voices of Gambian journalists as they march through the streets of Westfield in commemoration of the death of prominent journalist Daida Haidara. It was from this point that Daida was shot dead by security agents loyal to the former President Yahya Jammeh 13 years ago.
This day is a significant day in the history of the Gambia, because it is on this day that somebody who stood for the freedom of the media was gunned down.
After the tragic incident, his family, together with many journalists, have tried to unearth the truth, but they were either denied access to justice or at times brutally arrested.
He just had his pen to write, and I guess the others had their guns to shoot.
Many argue that the assassination of the late Daida Haidara remained one of the worst brutalities against the media fraternity. But Daida's death was not the end of brutality against the members of the press. The Jammeh administration remained hostile to journalists throughout his time in power. The regime is heavily accused by journalists of systematic killings and incarcerations. In 2006, journalist Chief Ibrahim Mane, a presidential affairs correspondent of the then Daily Observer, also disappeared without trace.
My brother was a very civilized person, humble, truthful person. He loved his family. He is not afraid of nothing but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Many who had survived the heat were left with nothing but to flee. Journalist Ibrahim Silla had been arrested 11 times and also survived an arson attack.
The killing of Daida, sad as it was, galvanized everybody to rally, behind the cause to get rid of a brutal dictator that was so unrepentant in his crimes against ordinary people.
The commemoration was a moment of reflection for veterans and for the younger generation of journalists in the Gambia.
I personally am a victim like Daida Haidara and Chief Mane. I was sent a letter of a death threat asking me to choose life or death, that I should leave the country in 2 weeks' time.
The new government is giving full support to Gambian journalists to effectively do their job.
This year, the new government of the Gambia has agreed to respect the decisions of the ECOWAS Community Court in 2014, vis-a-vis compensating the family of the late Daida Haidara and Chief Ibrahim Mane.
Today, we work freely. Today, we express our view freely. We are very grateful to the government, but appeal again to the government to abolish all the draconian laws.
The media fraternity in the New Gambia is a sword of freedom and security.
Rest in peace, Daida. Rest in peace, Chief. Rest in perfect peace till we meet again.
Reporting for GRTS News, I am Famarakai.
Commuters and the local authorities are hailing the commissioning of the summer ferry. The vessel is set to ply the short nautical miles between Yelitenda and Bambatenda. Estukated has more on that development.
Of the new ferry is a major development for the people of this area and beyond. The ferry, which went through a thorough maintenance, will ply the Yelitenda-Bambatenda route. The grand commissioning of the summer ferry was presided over by the Minister of Works, who hailed the development.
From the start, whatever promise they gave, they have been able to fulfill. So I have a feeling that they are adequately motivated, and I have no reason to doubt that they will operate this ferry with maximum efficiency.
The Deputy Managing Director of Ferries, GPA, highlighted the importance of the commissioning of the ferry after it underwent a successful rehabilitation.
The provision of the rehabilitated summer ferry attests to the government of His Excellency Adam Barrow and GPA's commitment to provide a distinctive, efficient and effective service for a safe, reliable and regular ferry service in which customer satisfaction and value for money are paramount. This is complemented by management resolve to create an enabling environment for our staff, particularly engineers, sailors and cleaners, to diligently perform their duties in the upkeep of the vessel and by the same token respond to the needs of our esteemed customers.
With this development, Port Authority officials are hopeful of a more efficient and effective operation in this important sea route, which can generate income for the GPA and also ease the movement of people and goods.
The other provincial ferries at this particular station, that is the Badibo and Farafenya, shall also be withdrawn and subject to the same repairs. The estimated cost of all these repairs of these ferries, which goes in tandem with the rehabilitation of the Banjul shipyard, will cost government and indeed the GPA in excess of 6 million euros.
Ordinary commuters, particularly those from the neighboring Senegal, commended the government for the development. The ferry is expected to inject greater movement of people within the region and help promote business between the people of the Gambia and the region. GRTS News, I am Aissatou Keita.
The European Union and the government of the Gambia have held a joint consultative meeting under the Article 8 of the Cotonou Partnership Agreement. A media release states that the agreement underlines the specific modalities for a regular, comprehensive, balanced and deep political dialogue between the EU and partners, including the Gambia. This covers broad topics, most notably the respect for human rights, democratic principles, the rule of law and good governance. The meeting was co-chaired by the European Union, represented by the EU Ambassador Attila Lies, and the government of the Gambia, represented by the Minister of Justice Abubakar Batambedu, who deputized the Minister of Foreign Affairs, International Cooperation and Gambians Abroad. The meeting marked the first political dialogue between the European Union and the Gambia government under the new government of President Adama Barrow. The Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Safilo Sise, Saturday presided over the inauguration of a new staff quarters for staff of Albreda Health Center. The project was conceived 3 years ago with a view to improving staff's working condition. Ibrahim Jallo reports.
The 9-room staff house, constructed under the Maternal and Child Nutrition and Health Resource Project, seeks to improve lodging conditions of health staff at the center. The project under the National Nutrition Agency, NANA, and the Ministry of Health focuses on improving health and nutrition of women and children across the country. The Executive Director of NANA, Pamodu Fall, hailed the success of the project. He said the health center was operating in line with his agency's desired goals.
Out of the 34 health facilities that we are operating with, it is only Albreda and Kundaya who has taken that initiative and those innovation of building staff quarters. And we all know one of the motivating forces or factors to allow people to stay in their working environment or workplaces is to create an enabling working environment for the staff.
Ali Youth is the officer in charge of Albreda Health Center. He described the staff house as a dream come true. He said maternal and malnutrition were persistent issues in Alberta and catchment areas, hence the need for such interventions to assist staff work.
It has taken a toll of a substantial investment from the NCHRP, that is the Maternal and Child Nutrition and Health Restore Project, which is aimed to improving quality service to the community and the country at large. This venture has been initiated based on the necessity to have health care staff within the health facility.
In her inaugural speech, the Minister of Health expressed delight at the completion of the project, which she said was conceived to improve quality healthcare delivery for people in the area.
The staff of this particular health facility are aware and apply the primary healthcare principles, and it is therefore a success story on the community involved and participation, which is a key primary healthcare principle.
Traditional communicators sang songs expressing the effects of maternal and child nutrition at the ceremony. Kadinjai is one of the beneficiaries of the health facility.
The facility is very helpful to us. People from nearby communities come to Alberta for healthcare services, including pregnant women. However, we have transport difficulties because we don't have good access routes.
The staff quarters at the Alberta Health Center, according to officials, would be replicated to other health centers in the near future. Ibrahim Jallo, GRTS News.
Next to LRR, where a $1.5 million solar borehole project for women gardeners of Kiang Kenaba was on Saturday inaugurated courtesy of Vision Development Foundation. Sally Jaji has more in that development.
A week after lending a helping hand to the people of Opanyomi in the North Bank region, Vision Development Foundation CEO Modutro Dabo extends his generosity to the people of Kiang in grand style. The donation of this borehole, according to Mr. Dabo, was in fulfillment of a pledge he made to the people of Kiang Keneba during the victory celebration of the president sometime in December last year. Mr. Dabo stressed that his generosity to Gambians has no political connection, but rather contributing his quota to nation building. Vision Development Foundation, he added, will continue to complement government's efforts in providing the much-needed development needs of Gambians, irrespective of tribe, party, or religious affiliation. For the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Mamadou Elki Sane, the government, under the leadership of President Adama Barrow, will continue to create the enabling environment for NGOs to contribute to national development. He also hailed the people of Kiang for standing by the truth and voting for change, and assured them of more development projects. The special advisor to the President and the National Assembly member for Latrikunda Sabiji, Yusufa Cham and Sekoba Marong respectively, described Moduturo Dabo as a true son of the Gambia. They said nation building requires concerted efforts, and with the likes of Mr. Dabo, the country can alleviate poverty in no just time, they added. The Public Relations Director of Vision Development Foundation, Sekou Fofona, advised the beneficiaries to take proper care of the donated facilities to serve the intended purposes. The villagers were all full of praises and prayers for the CEO and his foundation. The women of Kiang Keneba recounted on the numerous challenges they face in getting the much-needed water supply to water their produce, and said that the borehole will greatly enhance their productivity. The inauguration ceremony, which was attended by several National Assembly members from Kiang, ended with presentation of computers, ceiling fans, scanner, printer and cash amounts to Sibano Police and Immigration Post. Like in Opanyomi, CEO Moduturo Dabo donated $33,000 to 33 mosques in Kiang to offer special prayers for the country's leadership and its people. Cash amounts and checks were also presented to several beneficiaries in Kiang and Fonyi. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Sally Jajo.
In what is seen as a major boost for the Gambia's promising tourism sector, a number of motorbike riders have arrived in the country after crossing from Senegal to the new initiative forms part of efforts to diversify the Gambia's tourism product. Mudu Bajan witnessed the arrival and filed in this report.
Entering the Karang Amdalai border crossing point, the arrival of these 18 motorcyclists of the Tranga Motor Club of Senegal marks the beginning of the Bike for Gambia venture. Its Vice President Gonga Dore dilates on their maiden tourism trip to the Gambia, which will see them visit several tourist attraction sites around the country.
Well, basically, this is the first time we're in collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism. We're all working. So when we come to Gambia, it's like it has to be either during the holidays or during the weekends. But then you need to organize, you need to find the right dates.
Gambia Tourism Board Senior Public Relations Officer Usman Kebe explains why the move is important in the development of Gambian tourism.
This is a product that the Gambia Tourism Board could efficiently handle and develop. Senegal riding into the Gambia, we could call it Senegambia motorcycle biking tour. And here we are. I think it's an initiative that will be developed to go beyond this. The first impression, the first reception at the border, they were extremely happy, which they expressed to me. It's a collective effort. They are very much optimistic. So I am so it is intended to be a continuous thing.
While on such trips, the group travels with a mechanic as well as their physician, Dr. Usam Merbahi.
We hope that as frequent as twice or 3 times a year for us to come here, we hope. Because we really like the country, we really like the amazing people, very kind. We had a great experience the first time.